We could talk about that too.
Dude, that trailer looks the funniest shit I've seen in that franchise is that trailer.
Dude, you could not pick a better trailer before a movie and not release it online, put it exclusively in theaters, because that primed everybody. Everybody was like, oh yes, because you know what? And it looks like old school scary movie where there's no boundaries. Like they already have, like, they're making fun of our current political climate in the trailer, which I was like, wow, they got balls to do that, because they're gonna piss off people, but they piss off everybody. Good. So that's what's great about it. Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 18 of Hit the Bricks with two very special deluxe guests. We got FACCI from FACCI Cinema, and we got Brett from Good Real Hunting. I feel like it's been a while since I've even been back with Nick and Davey, but we are so happy to be here, spending time with you guys, talking Scream 7, all spoilers. The way this is going to work is if you guys want to throw like questions at us about Scream 7, you know, topics that you want us to field along the way, feel free. It's going to be a nice laid back. We'll see how many fights we can start with this. But, now, let me ask you guys this: like, all of you, have all of you guys streamed before about Scream 7 after the movie came out? Am I the only one that this is the first time I'm actually streaming about the movie?
No,
I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't.
Okay, so me and Nick we're virgins on this too. All right, cool. Nick, how are you doing, brother?
You know, I'm great, man. I'm great. Another horror movie and a big franchise came out, and I liked it. And buddy, that opens up the doorway to some shit. No, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Yeah, man, that Twitter's going nuts already. It's going.
Hey, dude, I've been popping off this week. It got to a point where I was like, you know what? I might I might say fuck it, Elon. Give me that fucking check mark so I can start to make some money on this shit. Like, but it gets to a point too where it's just like you just mute it. You just mute the post, and you're like, I'm done receiving notifications from this because it's just a bunch of people arguing. So yeah.
I'm gonna go to Davey here in a sec, but I'm not a blocker, somebody who blocks people constantly. I have never blocked so many people in my entire life than I have over this last couple of weeks. Like, it's just been insanity, blocking people for trying to throw freaking spoilers at me, just blocking people for being complete fucking assholes.
Sure.
Just the worst comes out of people when it comes to these franchises. And Scream, you know, we used to bitch about Halloween. Oh, Halloween ain't got nothing on Scream. I've learned that. No. Scream's a completely different animal. Davey, how are you doing, brother? Are you doing okay with all this Scream nonsense going on?
I am, yeah. So I don't know, for anyone that's like new to the way that I think about things, like, you know, in the end of it all, like the way we feel about art is pretty damn inconsequential. So it's like I try to take a step back. I will absolutely you know, voice my opinion, and usually the things that I like, I can still see the flaws in and talk about those flaws. And I try to be as self-aware as possible. It's totally impossible to be that way all the time and all the way. But yeah, I mean, like when something like Scream 7 comes out, I'm just gonna like, I don't read early reviews. For you guys that are on the East Coast, Lee and Nick, you know, I don't check out your guys' reviews before I've seen the movie. I just sort of, you know, I just want to go. I know, totally. No, I watch your shit after. Come on. But I know what you guys said about the movie. I do my homework for my brothers. But yeah, it's just one of those things where with a movie like this, I think it's really close to the top tier of the franchise for me right now. It's not quite there. I really liked things like the reveal, and I liked that the killers were you know, not out of nowhere, but not connected familially to anything that had gone on previously. I really appreciated that. So yeah, it's, I mean, for me, I'm sort of shocked at the you know, the fair criticism I totally get. I am shocked at the people that are saying things like, oh, the people that like Scream 7 are racist Republicans, and like, you know, like I actually, like, I saw that tweet and I'm just like, that's so wild. That is like such a wild like monolith to like paint an entire group of people with that might just like the movie. But I'm doing well, and in the time since the last Hit the Bricks, guys, I shaved everything down to a mustache, and now I've grown the beard back. So it's been a little bit.
Did you shave your entire body? Or
wouldn't
he didn't.
You like to know?
I did.
Oh,
guys,
Nick did.
Yeah, he had me do it for him.
Yeah, and if you want to see the video and the pictures, you have to join the top tier membership of my YouTube channel. It's pretty hot.
It's called Davey Goes Bear. It's
when you shave everything, Davey. Let's get right down to what we really want to talk about. Do you go in the middle of your bedroom, or is it more of like a bathroom over the toilet type thing? Or?
It is totally all in the tub.
All in the tub. Yeah, that's a good move. Actually,
I pick up petroleum jelly.
I pick up the rug in the bathroom and I just stand there because I pick up the rug and I'm standing there, and then I grit the broom and I'm like, all right, we're good.
I challenge myself to try a different technique every time, and sometimes it doesn't work out, and I discard that way of trying it from then on out. Facci, how are you doing, brother? It's nice to see you in here. And I was going to ask all five of us, but let me ask Facci though, because Facci was, I think, the last of all five of us to see the movie. He had to wait a couple of days. Did you know any of the killers before you saw this movie, Facci?
Well, I don't usually get trolls or anything, but when I did my stream before the movie came out, somebody spoiled it in the chat.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I was trying not to pay attention to it, and honestly, at the moment, I didn't even know who it was. So I was like, I took it down for other people because I don't want them to see it. But I was like, I don't even know who that is, so I'm pretty good. But then once I saw recognized the name watching the movie, I was like, oh, never mind.
Wow,
it's that one. But I was hoping there was more other killers than just that one. So. I mean, it really wasn't that big of a disappointment, to be honest. Like, if they'd have been, I figured it wasn't who I wanted it to be since I didn't see Stu's name mentioned anywhere. So I was like, whatever. It is.
I think Scream is the only franchise that I've been like spoiled, I guess, for lack of a better, going into the movie. I can't think of another movie outside of Scream that I went into.
Yeah,
knowing some very important. I'm trying to think. Did Halloween, was I spoiled with anything with Halloween? Even though it's not that type of movie, not really. Yeah. For some, it's just Scream, and it's just assholes that act like 5-year-olds that come after you.
Yeah, but, weren't you spoiled on Scream 6 too? Like, because I even remember you complaining aside somebody spoiled Scream 6 for me. Was that true, or was that Scream 5?
Well, Scream 6 was spoiled for me. I can tell you that. And
me too.
I was just about to say that like, this isn't specific to Scream 7. If anybody's like, oh, it's because of the boycotters. No, they've been doing this.
No, it's not. Matter of fact, Nick, they came just as hard, if not harder, for me and a lot of other people, even for Scream 6. And I'm still trying to think why. Like, back then, I don't know what. I think just for kicks.
Just cause. I saw a fake one. I saw a fake one for Scream 6 that had like Chad and Mindy, and then I think it had one of the real killers. But I saw it. It was the three standing, but they had, it was grainy, and I was like, oh shit, I hope that's not real. And I mean,
it does.
The reveal still sucks. And
like when I sat down in the theater watching Scream 7 for the first time, and as soon as Anna Camp walked in, I was like, fuck. It's just, I can't help. I mean, I wanted to punch somebody,
but it's been obvious for so long though. It's like when everyone is like fingering that person because like they don't have a character name and they're not in the trailer. Like, it started to get like, I suspected Ethan Embry's character because I'm like, dude, I figured somebody's gonna break somebody out of that mental hospital, and then he's in the orderly gear, and I'm like, well, he's probably at least involved.
There he is.
I watched you. So when they cast Anna Camp, I was like, okay, they're gonna make her one of the fucking crazy ghost faces. So like, that didn't get spoiled for me. Like, people tried, but no, it didn't happen. But I knew, as soon as I saw her, and guys, like, why on earth would you put her as a giant head on the poster? Like she's a main character. Like, you're giving up the ghost before people go see the movie. She's a new character and she gets prime positioning. What is she gonna be? Come on.
They did with Jack Quaid too on the Scream 5 poster too. They made him a bigger one too. So I get what you mean.
Yeah, Scream is pretty predictable with their casting, and what was the one for Scream? 6. Well, hell, I was even going to say Ethan Embry. As soon as they Ethan Embry, I was like, oh, he's going to be a killer. I mean, you know, because you always want to go with somebody who's got the acting chops to really pull off a psychotic role, which, by the way, I think Anna Camp did a damn good job. We'll talk about the final act here in a bit, but I want to kind of break the ice with you guys. Brett, what was your favorite thing about this movie? And when you went into this movie, were you scared that you weren't going to like it just because of the reception, the Rotten Tomatoes low score, all that?
No, like, is it concerning? Sure, but you got to think at the end of the day, it's the critic score that got released first, and I'm always the one that say, but not all the most critics are not the horror fans that like Lee is on Rotten Tomatoes, because I'll trust a Lee Rotten Tomato critic score for sure, because again, you're a horror fan, but I think most of those critics are not true horror fans, so that's why I don't personally listen to it, and I'm also going to judge what's on the screen versus like the backstage politics or anything, because I'm a reviewer. I'm going to review just what's on the screen. And overall, I did like it. And once we get into this discussion tonight, it's more than likely going to sound like I don't like this movie. It's just I find a lot of faults in this movie. But trust me, I do like this movie.
This
I still believe. Boo that man. Boo. No. But no, honestly, though, like, I still had a great time with it. They still did a lot of good things with this movie, and again, no bad entry. But my favorite part of this movie, I don't think one stands out immediately, but the one I can easily talk about first is I do believe this movie has a lot of good cinematography shots with Ghostface, and they actually had Ghostface kind of like move as an actual ghost, which is finally about time, because again, it is called Ghostface. I want some ghost-like movement, and even the beginning and the opening of the movie where you see kind of like Ghostface like in the shadows, kind of like Michael Myers. Like and then the scene in the garage scene with Mark, and then you see the clear bags, and then you see Ghostface moving just stalkingly right behind it. I think they do a great job with a lot of those particular scenes, and also I liked some creative kills too, and this movie provided 2 good creative kills.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I think as far as Ghostface goes, this might be one of my, I mean, if you're just looking at Ghostface as a character, the way he's shot, man, he's maxed out in this movie. I think if you're just wanting a Ghostface movie, watching Ghostface kills, looking like an actual man, I think they nailed it.
The presence was so scary, especially, I mean, the first time watching it, I'm thinking the whole time it is possible that it could be Stu. Even though everyone's saying all that stuff, they're still kind of dangling it out there. You know, Mindy says, even for any franchise, that's a retcon that's too far. And then by the end of the whole thing, she's like, well, but Billy Loomis did have a love child, so what the fuck? You know, so the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, is it Stu? Because he just had this imposing feeling in the streets, and very Michael Myers-y all the way through. Even the shadow in the alleyway is very Michael Myers 2018. You know,
I think he was spaced out in the perfect amount too.
I'm telling you, the first video call was Stu. I'm telling you, that first video call was Stu. I hope it was. I'm gonna die on that hill. I am currently uploading a video that'll drop tomorrow as we speak, called "The Stu Macher Dilemma." And it's literally about is he alive or dead, and whose fault is this controversy to begin with? Because that whole thing has been really funny for years, of like people getting annoyed by us Stuthers, and it's like, I was like, well, you know who's to blame, right? Kevin Williamson, not us. And then when he had the opportunity to close the door in Scream 7, he kicked that bitch wide open. So I don't know, we'll get into that, but
let's talk about the John Campea dilemma right now, because boy, did he blow up all over X. And I think that he's not a certified critic or anything, or he might be certified. I don't know. I know he doesn't go to like press screenings and whatnot. So Brett was talking about watching Rotten Tomatoes critics, and before this movie, I would have never stated that I think a critic would use, like a certified critic would use their own politics to grade a movie, but I saw evidence of it. In my own opinion, I feel like there are Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm a certified critic. But I'm still gonna say this. I think there are certified critics that had a little bit of bias when they went in and watched this movie and then graded it, because their little blurb that's on, you know, the site, like one of them, it was all over X, but it had nothing to do with the movie. It had Melissa Barrera in the little blurb. But it didn't, and it said the movie they said basically just the most vague possible thing, but they didn't give any reasoning. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I think maybe that factors into that score that I think is in the 30s right now. But when I compare this to all other Scream movies, for me anyway, it's far from the worst Scream movie. But yet most of the other Scream movies have high Rotten Tomatoes ratings. So if anything, for at least for slasher movies, do you really even care what a Rotten Tomatoes certified critic thinks?
No, for horror movies in general, I said this in my spoiler review, and I'm just going to say really quick, when the fuck did we become the fan base of a genre that goes, oh man, the critics liked it? No, we don't give a shit about that. That used to be a badge of honor that they hated our movies. So the fact that people are using that now, I'm like, nah, nope, you got an agenda, buddy. I don't give a shit. They have shit on my favorite Halloween movies. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, garbage rating. Halloween 5, garbage rating. Don't care. Halloween Ends, garbage rating. I don't give a shit about the critics.
You know, when I first became a certified critic, the first movie that I went on to give my grade was Halloween 6.
I remember that.
I wanted to kick that number up a half a notch if I could. And I did it. You can go on, look at Halloween 6. You will find my rating on there. Gave it a glowing fucking rating. Fresh as fuck. And if I could only give a rating to one movie, it would have been Halloween 6, and then they could take my card and I'd do a backflip into the ocean. I don't know. But John Campea, let's talk about this real quick. And I watched John Campea actually, but I could not help but roll my eyes at his reaction to this movie, just because I know John Campea's taste in movies. He's not a horror guy at all. And for anyone to say that this is the worst movie you've ever seen or one of the worst movies you've ever seen, you know what? Everybody's entitled to that. Maybe there's something emotionally that this movie tapped into him to make him, but you can't put that on paper to me to prove to me that this is the worst movie you've ever seen.
No,
it had good acting, great cinematography.
It's winter. Yeah. RPM is down. RPM's down. So he was like, I got to make some money. Let's go viral. That's what it was.
We all did, right?
I couldn't even I couldn't even turn the volume on because I'm seeing a grown man like shaking in his chair, like weird, angrily, like a kid in a high chair wanting to be let out. And I cannot get anyone that acts like that in time. I know who John Campea is.
Scream 7 so much.
Yeah, here's what I got to say is I'm like, well, John, then you should consider yourself very lucky that you get to do this for a living and that people know who you are, because apparently you haven't seen very many movies and you're a movie reviewer. Go watch some Mystery Science Theater 3000 and you'll see what actually like the worst movies are. Because they're movies like Manos, The Hands of Fate. They're not big project like productions that come out of Hollywood currently.
I just want to say about Campea really quick, and I'm not saying whether you agree or disagree, but like Campea is very, very open with his ideology, and I would say that definitely played a role in his opinion going into Scream 7, because he is very outspoken about that. So kind of like what you said earlier about like there were some critics, there was some guy that writes for the Polygon or whatever, and it was like the biggest, I can't believe that he was a critic, because I read most of it and I was like, Jesus Christ, man, this is like all about, he mentions the Israel-Palestine, Melissa Barrera, fuck Spyglass type shit. And I'm like,
what's that doing in your review?
I'm like, holy shit, to the point where I almost messaged him on Instagram. And I was going to be like, dude, you are a hack. But like, I didn't do it. But it's just like, I'm not, in a different time, it would probably be like a 45 to 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, I would say. It still wouldn't have gotten glowing reviews, but this definitely took a bite out of it for sure.
Chat real quick. I want the chat. Just give me like the number ranking where you would put Scream 7. I'm curious about that. Just throw it in the chat somewhere. I'm going to shift it over to the opening scene of this movie. Okay, let's talk about the opening scene. I guess comparing it to like previous, I think this is a very safe opening scene. I think it's cool. I think it can be picked apart, but like Facci, when you went into this opening scene, did it sort of worry you a little bit, or were you like, okay, this is actually a good start and I'm actually enjoying what they're doing here? And also, did you think that Ghostface standing in the corner was an actual Ghostface? Because I remember Nick brought this up on a Hit the Bricks he thought that was actually Ghostface, or maybe it was Davey, I can't remember. But Yeah, Facci, opening scene. What did you think?
All I've been seeing is really a lot of hate for it, to be honest. And I dug the hell out of the opening scene, to be honest. I mean, you get the Macher house. I mean, it's a huge part of the Scream franchise, so super stoked to be there. I think it's really cool. They turned it into a killer murder house B&B. I like that aspect of it. I thought that was really cool. And the two actors that were there, I know a lot of people said they weren't very good. The dude, I don't know if I've ever seen that guy in anything before, but I don't know. I fell in love with that guy. I wanted him to last longer than he did, but of course he didn't. But I thought he was hilarious, and he wasn't even really trying. He was just acting like a normal, I don't know, like a fanboy. Like, you love Scream and all this stuff, and he was just acting like it. Kind of like how, you know, any one of us would actually go to the house and do all that stuff too. We'd act the same exact way as he did. So I really like that. And then his relationship with, that was his girlfriend, I believe, right? Not his wife. So
girlfriend Madison.
She's my girlfriend.
I looked over at my wife and I was like, you did, you bitch.
I've dated chicks like that though, where you're like, I am just dragging her kicking and screaming into this horror shit that I love.
I was married to one. So don't recommend it.
You sound kind of muffled, Nick.
Somebody said in the chat, you all have Ghostface masks, but nobody put one on, and I was like, fuck it, I'll put mine on.
I don't. I lost my Ghostface mask in the divorce.
Oh no shit.
Oh wow.
And she's a fucking phony fan anyways. I don't know why she liked it. Probably just to punish me, or why she wanted it. I have 8 Michael Myers masks though, so there you go.
Yeah, I have 2 Ghostface masks in here, and they're both the decayed look. You know, I don't have like a straight white.
And don't worry, guys. This has not been used for anything inappropriate, like all the fucking trends are these days. Okay, I have not used this for anything like that. This just sits up here. Wait, out on a nail.
What kind of inappropriate things would you do with
I was like, how the hell?
Guys, there's no way I'm going to be educating you on what people are doing with these things.
Like wearing it on your dong?
No. Are you
between a mattress?
That's what I do.
You already know, guys. These motherfuckers are wearing these things these days and taking videos with their partners and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God.
Well,
yeah, it's a whole,
it's pretty mainstream. Scream's pretty mainstream, so there you go.
It is. It is.
You know what I liked about the my voice crack? You know what I liked about the opening sequence? Immediately, I was like, "Oh, this Ghostface doesn't give a fuck." He just kind of chill, right? Like, he gets in the fight with the girl on the top of the stairs, and then they both fall. Which, by the way, he'd be fucked up.
He would have died from that fall.
That's not a 100% dead being. Okay?
Gravity.
He would be royally. He'd be like crawling out of that house. Be like, okay, I'm talking out.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would fuck up his back. Okay, and then some. But
hey, at least Madison got a trivia question right. Got the third one.
What was that trivia question, Brett?
It was something about like how many. Yeah, when Jason
how old
drowned,
was
like
Jason
how old
when he drowned?
Yeah. How old was Jason? And he didn't technically drown. It's always a trick question, right? Which was kind of a callback to the first movie.
I love the little.
That
his
kind
little
of
like
bothered me because she was the one that got dragged there that didn't like horror shit, and
I know,
she knows
I was thinking that too.
I'm like, all right, hold on, motherfucker. No, Kevin Williamson, you can't do that.
Yeah,
it's the one girl boss moment in the movie.
Yep.
But I like how he turns around. I made fun of this too, actually, when before we saw the movie on Hit the Bricks, when he turns around with the knife pointing up. And when she comes, he would have already been royally fucked up from the fall, but then her falling on top of him would have sealed the deal. Like he would have
blown up. He would have like exploded pretty much.
That would have been the end of the movie,
right there.
It would have been wild. It would have been almost as wild as what they did with Carl in the movie, anyways.
Yeah,
he ends up having that Hot Shots moment. I don't know if you guys have seen Hot Shots, but when Dead Meat gets hit by the ambulance and he flies and he's like, "Wendy, I can fly." That's exactly what I thought of. But the opening is killer. The opening's awesome. I wanted it so bad, and I was the one that was like, So Lee, I'll take the credit. Nick might have said it too, but once I went through that trailer, I was like, oh, I think the ghost face behind her is the boyfriend playing a trick.
I didn't say that. That was Davey. Yeah. I didn't say that.
So I was like, I think the one that she's looking at is the real one, but we still got those great Michael Myers moments like Brett was talking about.
In the shadows.
Yeah, I love that they remark about talking about Amber getting burnt up, and she's like, "Oh, I'd hate to die that way," and then that's how she dies.
Yeah.
She gets burned alive. Like there were little great moments. The phone rings, and he's like, "It's happening." Like, I thought it was really charming and natural, and I guess everyone just wants to throw the baby out with the bathwater and say the whole movie sucked.
Hold on. Before we go any further, guys, we need to get together. Get a pot of money together and rent this Airbnb for a weekend, because you can do that.
Yeah.
And you can go stay in the Macher house, and I would be the same fucking way, dude. The same fucking way about everything.
Yeah.
Is it not burnt down though? So we can't really go to it anymore because the Stu house got burnt down.
Hey, and look, I believed it was the real house until I saw like they just built another set. But that goes to show you. I'm sorry, Kevin Williamson and team did a way better job than Radio Silence, because in the Scream 5, it looked like a fucking set. It did not look like a set here.
Yeah.
Tabata Vision just jumped in. Hot take. He's been freaking unloading hot takes on Facebook all week.
Over and
Brandon, I love Jaws 2, dude, but
it's not better than one.
Jaws is the greatest film of all time.
Ignore
Brandon.
Jaws 2. Ignore Brandon. He's mad that they didn't go full bore with Stu. He has an agenda. Just ignore him. Ignore him.
I love Tabata so much.
Yeah, we love him.
He might be my favorite human being on planet Earth by now.
Brandon's a bastard. He's a son of a bitch. Brandon.
That too. Yeah, both can exist, Nick.
Nick, it's tougher for you because you guys are both hot take masters, so it's tough.
Yes.
You're jockeying for position.
He posted about
I'll give it to him
because he hates Halloween Ends, and I almost got on right after and said the exact opposite of what he said about Halloween Ends, just so that he would know that I said it, but I didn't. I was going to wink at him, but
you're like, that's exactly what he wants from you, Lee. No.
I know. Jesus. All right, let me get Chappie's.
I would love to rent the house, and then we all put on body cams, and we do a remake of Halloween Resurrection.
Yes, Scream Resurrection.
Oh, dude, yeah, that would be awesome.
And we resurrect Stu.
Let's go.
And Facci could do the
karate and shit
with the boobs and the
yeah.
Chicken
Facci,
motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it.
What are you doing here? It's like, you're not supposed to be Ghostface. I'm Ghostface.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right. Chappie says, I saw Scream 7 yesterday. Really enjoyed it. A lot of especially from someone who isn't a diehard Scream fan to begin.
That's what I hear.
And I see this being a favorite of mine. You know what? And he hits on something there too. I was thinking this. Scream 7 is the H2O of the franchise. And what I mean by that, because I don't really care for H2O that much, but
come on, man.
I think H2O is a formula. It's like a crowd-pleasing formula to pull everybody else that's not like fanatics of Halloween. I think Scream 7 is I think it's that. I think it's a safe movie that I happen to love because of, I think it takes more risks than H2O does. But yeah, I don't know. Would you guys agree with that?
I can see a comparison to that. Just because, again, like Mike, as long as you just get Michael Myers killing people in a movie, people are going to be entertained. And then obviously in Scream 7, Ghostface does a lot of great killings. So I can see a comparison to that.
Yeah. You get Michael Myers killing people in a movie, they'll be entertained. Tell that to fucking Matt, because he still doesn't like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Okay.
Jesus.
So what's the deal,
we need
Matt?
to talk to him. I need to talk to him.
I'm in the wrong room for this.
I largely agree with that. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, but however, dude, I have a lot of nostalgia for H2O. I think it's the best Laurie Strode, period. But
that's true.
Dude, I, as much as I'm a Halloween guy, first and foremost, Sidney Prescott's just on another level, like above Laurie Strode.
After this movie, fuck yeah, dude. She's the GOAT now. She's literally the number one.
And Kevin Williamson, the difference between this and 5 and the character of Sidney Prescott is Kevin Williamson created that character. He understands that character. And it showed in this movie. Like that was a natural progression from the Sidney that I knew. Whereas in Scream 5, I mean, we've all talked about it. It's basically a glorified cameo. Like, it's not anything to write home about. But this was this was Sidney, man.
Dude, so I think I saw that, I saw even Barry had posted that, like, it's the Scream 7 is like H2O. They're both the 7th movies. Kevin Williamson is involved.
Oh, yeah.
I think I think it's more of the Halloween Ends of Scream, because it has divided the fans, and it's divided them in a way where the gripes and the picking of the sides seems to be a lot more like personally motivated rather than actually having to do with the film. And people are dug in on either side. I'm going to go that Scream 7 is just the new Halloween Ends, because it's a little bit of a coin flip, and the people that don't like it are extremely obnoxious.
And I hear you with that. And I've seen people say that on social media too, but I got to be honest, man, I think a lot of the hate for Scream 7 is manufactured, whereas I think
I was going to say
Halloween Ends hatred, that was fair. Like that movie being that movie is straight down the middle. It's like right around 50% on Rotten Tomatoes for fans. You either loved that movie or you hated it. Whereas Scream 7, it's almost 80% with fans. Like you're just hearing the very loud people on social media shit on this, but like most fans seemed okay with this movie. So, but it's the loud minority really wants you to know they didn't like it. And it's like, cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's Paramount's laughing all the way to the fucking bank, and I am too. So,
and I think the reason why I also compare it to Halloween Ends is because I think people are like willfully being ignorant of the way the plot points actually do make sense. They're acting dumb. They're like, well, I don't understand why would Michael ever blah, blah, blah with Corey? And then all this stuff with Scream 7, where all of a sudden people have an issue with these things that they've never had an issue within the franchise. Everyone's like, oh, I heard somebody say that, Jessica has no connection with Sydney. So that's just somebody that is like, and that's somebody that was streaming with a huge YouTuber that I respect and love. And I'm sitting there thinking, no connection to Sydney. You just didn't pay attention, or you're being very glib and disingenuous, which I'm picking up on a lot of that. I think a lot of people,
they didn't give that last act a chance. And I think maybe when you first, like, especially us Scream fans, when we first watch a new Scream movie, it's kind of hard to process everything in real time. But when I watched this movie a second time, and I don't know if you guys, I know Davey did, but man, I would behoove you guys to definitely give this movie a second watch, because I'm going to say something controversial right now to maybe somebody in the chat, but I fucking love Jessica now. She's I think she's not like maybe top 5, but she might be top. I love that character now, just because she has this sort of parasocial relationship with Sydney. And if you really listen to what she's saying, she's like this obsessed type stalker type fan that pretty much lives through Sydney, and she depends on Sydney to be Sydney Prescott. And in this movie, Sydney's trying to not be Sydney Prescott, and she kind of forces her out of hiding. So it all kind of made sense, and it was unique. It was different than all the other motivations throughout. And it also made me think of like, remember Adrian King from the first Friday the 13th, Daniel Harris from the Halloween franchise, and countless others have had fans that are like obsessed and stalkerish, and they like parasocial type relationships, and they become very dangerous. That's what Jessica was, and I think it was perfect for a Scream movie, really.
Well, and I think too,
what do you guys think about Jessica?
You guys probably all know as content creators, like it's never gotten this bad with me, but I've definitely had interactions where it's like you kind of have little parasocial run-ins just being a YouTuber sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's an odd, so maybe that makes us a little more like, we're kind of more open to seeing that. But people are straight up saying like, Jessica doesn't even have a motivation. Marco doesn't have a motivation. I'm like, but you were okay when Stu didn't.
He didn't.
And you wanted him back.
Peer pressure.
You're okay. You're okay with that.
Neither did Mickey. Neither did Charlie. I mean, we can go down the list. They didn't really have motivations. They were just they were the right hand. Yeah, no, but you're totally right. I'm someone that was very, very. It's a negative for me, the third act, simply just because for nothing else, I want Scream third acts to go back to being surprising and to kind of come out of left field and really feel like there's a lot of meat on the bone there. And for me, that third act was quick too. Like it was very quick. It was, and it was just like, oh damn, that's the end of the movie. Okay, wow. I just felt like it was really underdeveloped. I mean, I remember maybe Scream 3 isn't the best comparative, but like that third act is elongated. The first Scream's third act is elongated. Like, I want to go back to where the last 25 to 30 minutes of the movie is the third act, is the reveal. Like, I want this long, drawn out monologue. Like, I get it. Some people are like, oh my God, fucking killer monologue. Yeah, it's Scream, buddy. Like, I want that in Scream. So, if nothing else, going into Scream 8, can we just let Kevin Williamson just write it?
Please.
No shade
Total control.
Guy Busick and Jamie Vanderbilt. Like, I appreciate what they did in just bringing Scream back, starting with Scream 5. But like, as much as they do some things well, like comedy, I think they write characters pretty well. They cannot write a third act to meet all of the criteria, to have it be surprising, to make it feel big. Like, it's just not there, man.
No.
Well, and I'm definitely giving big kudos to Jessica as a character, but I haven't even talked about Carl, 11 Seconds Carl, and I don't even know his freaking name.
Marco.
All right,
Marco. They named him after the composer.
I don't even. I still to this day,
movie.
until Davey said it, didn't know Ethan Embry's character's name. So
either did I.
Nick, you're right. The writing was there was a lot to be desired writing wise, and at least we got something out of Jessica, the leader of. But yeah, they definitely could have given us another 15 minutes of good, character development. Let us know a little bit more about Marco and Carl. I liked what happened to Carl. I mean, guys. Like Facci, middle of the movie, one of the best freaking Ghostface sequences in the house with Sydney and her daughter, man. That is like top tier Scream. Yeah. And what was your reaction when Ghostface goes outside and here comes Gale just running him over? Oh my God.
Dude. Really yelled like, holy fuck. Like, I didn't see that shit coming at all. I know I've seen a lot of criticism about that, like Gale and the twins pulled up like the Avengers, like they're some kind of superheroes or something.
I said that.
Sorry, Brett. I wasn't.
No, I said that. Yeah.
But
I loved it.
It got a reaction from the crowd. The audience liked it. It came out of nowhere, and you're like, dude, I've never seen a Ghostface get killed mid-movie before. Obviously, there's going to be more Ghostfaces, but I wonder who this one is. And then, like when they took off the mask, and they're like, who the fuck is this guy? And I was like, I yelled, it's Carl.
He even had like a dirt face when they took it.
Yeah, bro.
Like Diffie, Detective Diffie or something.
I thought that middle scene was great, man. Mark was kicking his ass.
The close quarters combat was very well choreographed and the most intense we've ever seen in a Scream film. And I love seeing Mark be capable. He's a good husband and a good father. And he knows, when to switch to this side or that side. He and Sydney have great chemistry. That was an element of the film that really surprised me. And I did love to see the fighting. Like, I thought it was super cool to see. It's not quite John Wick. It still felt real, especially when you consider that Mark is a police chief. You know a little bit about that. But I really dug all that. And it was what I wanted. I was on Facci's channel. We watched Scream 6. And it was one of those things where I didn't like that they killed Jason and the other dudes so quick. Yeah, I wanted that fake Ghostface to play out longer, and I'm like, cool. In Scream 7, I got that.
You got that.
I agree about Joel McHale. I love Joel McHale. Everything he did in this movie was aces except one thing. And Lee, you're a parent. You have a daughter, and Matt, you like me. We only have boys, but like, I'm just gonna say the one thing I didn't like that he did. When Sydney goes into the bedroom, he's like, do you think they're doing it? I'm sorry, but as a dad, I ain't asking that fucking question about my teenage kid ever, especially if it's my daughter. I don't want to know because I'm going to want to kill someone.
Yeah, that's not happening in my house.
Yeah, like that's not even something to joke about. I get it. That's Joel McHale. Like, here's my little goofiness. But he was fucking awesome, and we were all skeptical. I think the entire fan base.
Oh yeah, he won us over.
Not being Patrick Dempsey. Yeah, right decision.
I'm glad he
felt like he fit in the franchise, and I'm glad he lived too. I felt like that was so heavy-handed in the trailers that it must have been a misdirect. But then I was like, who knows? And I'm glad that they went that route.
Let me grab a couple of these. Go ahead, Brett.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say, Chad kind of took off his plot armor for a moment and gave it to Mark, too. So that's how he survived all this.
What? I was going to talk about plot armor because when you compare what Mark went through to what Chad went through. I still think it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, he only got stabbed like 3 times, right? Like 3 times in the midsection.
Yeah, it was. I think it was
right. I think upper chest.
Yeah,
I think kind of like this area, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know.
Is on the side of him, and each of them are trading blows, and you're like, give me a fucking.
You get stabbed right around here, and it's not too deep. You can live that, like through that. That's a flesh wound, buddy. Like, left side, then it's different. But like,
sure.
Well,
and Chad is
let me get
his.
Overhated, and I saw someone said in a video, he's probably talking about John Campea, that this was one of the worst movies in history. Like the guy hasn't seen Battlefield Earth or movie 43. And Chappie, if you just jumped on, go back. We did talk. We had a whole section about Campea. And one thing I didn't say is, I respect the hell out of Campea. I've been watching him for years. It's at the end of the day, it's a movie opinion. It's a super, super hot take. We've all had super hot takes. So it doesn't make me think less of Campea as a person. I just thought it was something to really chuckle at. Like,
where'd Fauci go?
I don't know.
I think he's in. He says he's back.
Oh, he is. Hold on.
Where the fuck is Matt?
There he is.
I got killed.
He got killed.
Ghostface.
Yeah. Let me get this other super chat real quick. See. Enjoyed it. Ending was so laughable in a bad way. Yeah, Nick was talking about that. And
hey, I enjoyed Anna Camp. She's gorgeous, and I thought that she just went full ham. And I think that's what Guy Busick and Jamie Vanderbilt are doing with their endings now with the Scream movies. It's like, it's not going to be that surprising, so let's just get fucking crazy. So like, it's fun to watch, but you'll walk away going, man, I want a third act like those first 3 movies. Like, I really want something like that.
I will say, I preferred this final act over 6, and I know that's not saying much. Maybe it was
I don't know, because Quinn surprised me. Quinn surprised me in Scream 6. Just in like when she took the mask off, I was like, "Wait, you're dead, bitch!"
Hey,
like
Rumi.
that surprised me. But and I don't know, I'm kind of partial to Dermot Mulroney. Like he's just,
me too.
I love that dude. But I will say, I mean, it's like shit and dog shit for me. Not saying they're like awful, but like neither one is very good for me. So I'm just, and that's not to take away from the motivation. I agree with Davey. I do actually think there's a lot to explore there with that motivation. And I think people are kind of just writing that off entirely without really thinking about it. But in terms of like surprise and it being this like huge event, like the culmination just didn't feel like it. It was like, bang. Oh, okay, cool.
It did seem abbreviated. It would have been cool to see the third act spill over into another set piece, maybe another brief chase, or even going further into the house or into Jessica's house. And I wanted to see, I was like, where Chad, Mindy, they got hurt or whatever. But Gail's got to know this is a tiny town. There's like 3 places that she knows of. Check them, Gail. It would have been cool if Gail showed up to help at the end.
She didn't,
that was something that I sort of wanted, because you were talking about that epic third act in Scream 3, Nick, and it is, and then in Scream 4 we get like part 1 and part 2 of the third act. It's kind of cool, at Kirby's house, and then going to the hospital we get another like addendum that feels like as long as the everything was in this movie. It was very abbreviated. And who opened the gate for Jessica? Was it a stagehand? Is it a stagehand? Was it done just for the visual storytelling of the film? Or was it somebody? Is there a fourth Ghostface? Because that gate opens outwards and she's just
they have there. Powers. Now we're in the 7th movie.
Wait, which gate?
Ethan Embry was using the Force.
Which gate are you talking about, Nick?
So when Marco goes, "Isn't that right, Stu?" and the gate opens up and we see Ghostface
standing there.
But the gate opens up outward and she's standing further back than the gate is. So it's
I think it was just artistic license. I think that's what we need, a cool moment here, and
or it was Robbie. It was Robbie Rivers.
Let's get this one, and this is a good transition that I'm gonna. Mad Sid wasn't in. That's an ass reason. Then daughter not knowing how to shoot to become John Wick. Well, she didn't become John Wick. Was super funny to me and very quick. Please, Scream 8, get rid of Mindy. Why just have?
Why just? Okay. So we're working in the Scream 6 or Scream 6.
I actually like.
There's a lot to unpack in this. Okay.
I actually
the first thing is. I don't think she became John Wick. First of all, I think I think she did a really good job of, looking like she didn't know what she was doing. Sydney's trying to talk her through it. I thought that moment between her and her daughter, because Sydney knew she couldn't get to her in time.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really good way of sort of kind of building the relationship, and Sydney trusts, she has to trust her daughter, other's she's going to die. Yeah. But I don't think she came out of there looking like John Wick or anything. She just literally pointed the gun and shot. That's it.
Yeah.
So
that's one.
Yeah, plus didn't Sydney not become John Wick in the first movie? Like, it takes time.
Exactly.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure everyone on this stream right now has shot a gun before, and I can tell you, as somebody that's not a seasoned gun vet, it's not really that hard with a handgun.
No, it's not.
It's really not. Take the safety off.
It's
point
and
click.
Shoot.
Yeah. Like,
I shot a 50 cal once. That will knock you on your fucking ass.
I bet. Yeah. I think,
my God.
The way that they played, man, I mean, I know we're not really honing in on this right now, but the dynamics and the spectrum of like emotion that Isabel May had to show as Tatum, I thought was incredible. I thought her performance was really good. I've heard people out there saying she has one defining characteristic, and it's that she's Sydney's daughter. I think that's wrong. I think it's, again, people just glossing over it. What's the defining characteristic of Sam Carpenter? What's in the first movie? What's the defining characteristic of Sydney? She's Maureen's daughter. What's the defining? You could just go on with every character. You could say that.
They did not poke fun at that too, like in the theater scene when she was in that outfit, and then that's where the director, or like kind of like the director, was kind of saying, "You're just Sydney's daughter." So they were kind of like touching upon that, though.
Yeah, he's like, I expect more of you. And I think that's the defining characteristic. It's a 17-year-old girl trying to figure out who she is while her mom hides her past, tells her what she can't do without any reasoning. And then people are telling her what she should be without any reasoning. And I think those are defining characteristics for a 17-year-old. And then she's in the midst of all this shit. And just, the facial acting that Isabel May has is next level. What she can say with a look is huge. She's going to be a star, beyond this franchise. But I just feel like they did very good casting. They lucked out on everyone they cast, because I don't think there was a weak performance. And I'm giving Kevin Williamson credit for that, because that's the number one job of a director, is to get good performances from your cast. And he fucking killed it for a dude that hasn't directed in 25 years.
And I just want to say too, not enough people are talking about this. Tatum went through more than Sydney did in Scream 1, by the way. She lost all of her friends.
Good point, Nick.
So, yeah.
Character development, which is another it blows my mind that this movie got such a low rating, because the thing that I loved about the movie the most is the relationship between Sydney and her daughter. And that was kind of like a through line throughout the entire movie. And you just really loved the relationship. We haven't seen Sydney like this probably since Scream 2. I feel like Sydney's had to constantly take a back seat to whatever the plot or the new cast. This was Sydney's movie. And boy, did she, like, before this movie, I think even jokingly, when we did our Scream 4 commentary, I was like, I prefer Sam over Sydney. But being serious, after watching this movie, I think Sydney might be my favorite final girl now. Like, she was amazing as a final girl in this, and a mother.
We got to see new flavors. Like,
when she comes into that theater and goes, motherfucker. I was like, dude.
She just starts shooting her gun in public, and then the cops show up. They don't even say anything that she's holding her gun out. The cops are like, dude, she's going on, fuck this bitch.
Yeah, it's Sydney.
Past my prime. Fuck you.
Yeah. How many great one-liners and then walk off the cameras were there? Like, Gail has like 3 of them where it's walk off the camera right after saying something awesome. God,
Sydney was great. It felt natural, like oftentimes you'll see a final girl and she'll have a one-liner and you can tell it's just like a flex. But with Sydney, it doesn't feel like a flex. It feels like it pertains to the actual scene and the character. And I think that just makes the delivery that much stronger. Like when she goes, please, there's a history to her saying that because of all the shit that she's seen,
It's Nev saying it for Nev too.
Yeah,
I think
it is.
So it's another meta thing.
I fucking love Nev Campbell, dude. I love
me too.
She's so good.
Yeah, I got a chance to meet her, and she was very, very sweet. So all the respect to the world to Nev Campbell, especially in this movie.
Yeah,
especially in this climate, because throughout all this mess and all this ugliness, I think the one person that has just handled everything with class is Neve Campbell, the star of this movie. I think this movie could have really fallen on its face if she would have said something to pick a side or said something to piss somebody off. She kept her mouth shut. She promoted the movie. That's how you're supposed to act when you're promoting a movie. You don't want to piss anybody off. You don't want to pick a side. And there's a scene, a clip with Elvis Presley from, a press conference. And this woman asked him, "What's your opinion on the Vietnam War?" And he's like, "Ma'am, I'm just an entertainer. Okay. I'm not, my opinion doesn't matter. Okay. Nor should it." And she's like, don't you think entertainers should give their opinion?" And he goes, "Absolutely, but I'm not."
Yeah, that's the thing too, is it's just up to personal choice. No one should feel like they have to, do that publicly or anything like that. It's all very personal. Yeah, I really loved just seeing, I felt like we got a different look at Sydney. And yeah, the most that she's been in the movies, maybe even more than she was in the first movie here. It was great. And a natural beauty. I love that about her too.
Yeah.
She's just,
also got to give a shout out. I don't know if I understand that Courtney has made some decisions with her appearance over the years, and I totally understand that. I will say though, I don't know if Radio Silence just wasn't doing her any favors, but I thought she looked really good in this movie. It reminded me of the old Gail, both in her look and in the way that she acted. I really liked Gail in this movie.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Especially when we finally got the one scene in this franchise, I think us Screen fans have been really wanting. We finally got the interview that Gail has actually wanted with Cindy too, which I wanted more from that scene, but I'm still glad we got that scene.
And I just personally loved the ending, like where, no, it wasn't the ending. Yeah, it was the ending. Her and Gail's moment. Yeah. Her and Gail's moment was nice. really touching. But we also got to see more sides of Gail in this movie. Not just like we saw the emotional and the physical scars on Gail. And I actually really dug that, because most of the movies she tries to be this badass, ruthless, cutthroat, boss bitch, and she is. But in this movie, like the veil kind of came down a little bit. And again, that goes to credit to Kevin Williamson. He created these characters. He knows how to fucking write them.
Yeah. I thought it was one of Gail's strongest performances. And Lee, I think you mentioned it in your review. One of the best scenes with Gail in the whole franchise. And I think you're talking about the interview
definitely.
scene.
Yeah,
I would
when
imagine
she comes in like a blaze of glory and runs Carl over.
And she, like, the moment that she and Sydney had at the end of the movie was, to me, the most emotion. Like, I got goosebumps all over. I was like, oh my God, like, this makes me want to tear up, like, talking about trust. And then the moment that she has with Tatum right after that, I really love that too, because Tatum wasn't looking for everything in the world from her mom all at once. She just wanted to know from her mom that she could get something, and that she didn't have to find out who her mom was by reading books or watching movies. And I love that her response to Sydney after everything she says is, "That's enough for now." Or for now, that's enough. Whatever she says, I'm like I get goosebumps thinking about it. I'm like, that's a really sweet, natural feeling mother-daughter moment. I'm not a parent, but it just felt natural,
Or we could be saving that for the future installment of Scream too. Like, just kind of like a little sneak peek, and they'll just dive more into that with the more kind of like entries to the Scream franchise. Maybe
Yeah.
Let me get this super chat, and then I want to ask you guys about, we're going to talk about Stu, and then we're going to talk about Scream 8 and like the future of this franchise. But Tia Nina, she says, Scream 7 was like sleeping with an ex. You already know what to expect, but you're still disappointed by the finish.
Yeah.
Any comments? I mean, I wasn't disappointed though.
It feels like a good idea at the time, so just do it.
Yeah, just go for it.
Go for it.
Just plow through.
It's familiar territory, Just
you're still gonna have a good
fun.
time.
Yeah.
I don't know. For a lot of guys, it's still worth it.
I used to joke. I had a joke when I did stand up that eating going to McDonald's drive-through after a night at the bar was like hooking up with an ex. Like you wake up in the next morning, you like question your decisions. You're just like, oh, you just feel so dirty, but it is so familiar.
Davey, at least you're McLovin it.
Like, hey, buddy, that's just why you make peace with it before you do it. You're just like, this is a bad decision.
We're doing it anyway.
I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah. I'm not gonna quarter pound this bitch. I'm gonna fully pound this bitch.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
Wow.
David, do you know Sheeny? You got a fan?
Yeah, he popped in on one of my streams just the other day. It's amazing. Scream 8 has brought in so many new eyes to the channel. It's been really awesome seeing people have been showing up and buying memberships and hanging out. And Cheney, he showed up I think it was Thursday night, which, by the way, I did lose a subscriber that said I should have waited a week to talk spoilers. And I'm like, I'm so sorry I didn't consult you first.
You should.
I was like, hey, I'm a small channel. I can't sit on. I was like, I'm a small channel. I can't sit on my hands. I have to do everything I can to get people to see my channel, dude. No one knows who the fuck.
Dude, I've had people get really mad at me for doing a spoiler review on a Sunday. And I'm like, they wanted me to wait a week. And I'm like, you don't know how YouTube works.
Well, that's the thing.
You just don't watch it.
Exactly. Exactly. Anytime anybody said that to me, I'm like, no one's making you watch, motherfucker. I don't know what you want me to say.
Oh,
this person didn't even watch it and told me they were leaving the channel.
This is how stupid people are. I literally had somebody in my comments of a spoiler review, and their comment in the spoiler review was not cool to spoil the movie.
Yeah, dude, not cool, bro.
Dickhead.
And I'm like, what?
Well, and I'll tell you,
don't come into the fucking comments then.
No, I'll tell you this.
Person hates Scream 7.
I think there's something now. I think I finally know what happened with the Bad Stakes politics. I think I figure out who the mole is that just started this whole commotion, and that is one Mr. Frank Riker in the chat right there saying there's for the franchise if they keep sucking. Frank, would you stop it? You know you like it. Just come out. Be like this Ghostface right here. Just come out the closet.
I knew Frank wasn't going to like this movie, and I totally don't blame him, because if you're not, because he wanted some really big swings, and I totally understand that. I want them too, Frank, and I'm a fan, but I want them too.
Mm-hmm. I think they take little swings. I think that's what they do. It's because and Kevin Williamson, he did have a really cool quote recently. He said, "It's okay to jump the shark once, but don't do it 10 times." And I think there's some truth in that. You don't want to jump too far over the cliff with a risk to appease 1/10 of your fan base, and then alienate 90% of your fan base that is along for the ride of the Scream formula.
And Scream has a lot of casual fans because it's very mainstream. That's the reason why there are bands like Ice Nine Kills doing music for it. It's very mainstream.
There's
and you have to remember that
safe with every movie, because that they get that a fresh tomato rating, except for this movie, of course. But they have a loyal fan base, and people show up in droves every time because they give them a Big Mac. That's what Scream does. You know exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get crazy whacked out ending. What the fuck is Nick doing?
Oh my gosh.
But I felt like they met me halfway on a lot of the things that I really wanted here, because I wanted the cliffhanger. I didn't quite get that, but I kind of got the mid-movie cliffhanger. I got the ghost faces that weren't related to the story. I really liked that. And I feel like they met the Stu fans halfway too. So I think if you're a Stu believer and you think you're being called dumb, I don't think so. I think Kevin's just joking that bringing back Stu would be dumb. I don't think he's calling people dumb. But I think you feel Stu's presence, even though he's not here. That's pretty awesome. You should be so lucky to have gotten that much, is my official stance.
I will just say on that, if Kevin Williamson has a grand plan here, he's not going to fucking tell you guys what it is. So for all the people to be like, well, he said that Stu was dead. Yeah, he said that 10 years ago too. And then he admittedly tried to bring him back in this movie for the second time. So I'm just saying, don't buy into that shit. If he brings him back, this is clearly a misdirect. And saying like, oh, it would be jumping 10 sharks. Really? Then why did you spend 2 hours in your last movie giving us ample reasons to think he might still be alive? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's a soft launch. It's kind of like a dip your toes in, see how people would react to this. And
they want him back.
See, I think it would be even worse to bring Stu back now after this one. I think this was the time to do it.
Yeah, especially this one where I felt like, and I was going with the expectation that Anna Camp was going to be Leslie. That's what I thought originally, because I didn't do much research, but I just kind of saw Anna Camp. I was like, you know what? She can really pull off Stu's sister. So if they maybe want to go in this direction, I think this would be the appropriate time. But now I think, and I'm just a true believer that Stu is dead. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think this movie finally verified it.
Well, not according to Matthew
Frank
Lillard.
Riker, Ghost Mom. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ghost Mom.
I do agree.
I just imagine Maureen Prescott walking around Woodsboro and she just looks like the smirking emoji at every dude. That's
Yeah, where did that Leslie Macher rumor start? Because that was
because Vince is in 5, so Vince is Leslie's son, Kyle Gallner.
And there's a motivation right there too.
It always made more sense too. It was nowhere near as much of a stretch to think that, like, we know he has a sister. We've seen more of his kin show up in this series.
Yeah,
wouldn't it make sense for her to want revenge for her brother and now son being part of Ghostface killings? So I think that was like a happy medium for a lot of people. Like, okay, well, instead of bringing Stu back because that's a little too far, what if it's his sister? But again, that's been kind of played out, admittedly, the familial connection. But you're getting to a point where you're like, what hasn't really been done so far in Scream? Like, aside from bringing somebody back, they haven't done that, where we've had a returning Ghostface. And we also haven't had the cult of Ghostface idea, which I want to see personally.
I think we kind of got it in this movie. I think it's the beginning of it in this movie. We finally got a random.
Yes.
We finally got the random killers
building that out.
Well, because Marco does say, like, Stu isn't alive, and he's like, well, alive in spirit. So I feel like Marco was inspired by Stu to begin with, and then he and Jessica connected, and then they both sort of manipulated Carl, into that. But it felt like Cult of Stu because, again, they're doing the Stu deepfake stuff, so it was very much tied to all of that. But yeah, I'm glad it wasn't Leslie, just because it would have been so. It would have been so like no duh,
But what I mainly want from the Scream franchise at this point in time, I just want Ghostface to win. Kind of like how Michael Myers won at Halloween Kills. Just I want to do something different, and I want to do something bold at this point. And I think Ghostface winning is a step in the right direction too. Plus, we gotta find a way to get to Scream 10 at this point, because I think that's a foregone conclusion. In fact, they're going to keep doing it until Scream 10 before doing something brand new. So I'm just one of those, like, I want Ghostface to win, or just the Ghostface, just like one of the two get away, or we actually know who Ghostface is, and then the next movie, us as the audience knows, but the characters don't know. And I always love that in a horror movie.
What's up, Ghost Pirate?
What's up,
Brett? A question for you.
Yeah.
AI Stu, when you first saw Stu pop up on that phone, and his face is like right there in the fucking phone, my reaction was like, wow, I don't know how to process this. This is kind of weird, like, so it's another reason why I'm glad I saw the movie twice, because the first time I couldn't really register what he was saying, because I was just like, damn, that's a lot of Stu like right in my face, and he's just kind of being goofy, and but I liked it better the second time because I understood he was antagonizing her with it. But Brett, what was your thought when you first saw Stu pop up like that? Because and tell me, was Stu something that you wanted to be alive? And so when you saw that, what was your reaction to it?
Yeah, and before that, I do want to say I've only seen this movie once, which I'm already disappointed myself as a Scream fan, because I always tell people I see the first movie just to be a fan, not to do too much thinking of it, and that's what I legitimately did. And then the second time, I go in as more of a movie reviewer and breaking everything down. Yeah. So that's the part I am missing, and just dealing with all your all's thoughts and opinions, because I've only seen it once, and I wish I could do it so I can be more in tune of just like a deeper thought process. But what you're saying, Lee, about for Stu, I was really shocked to see him so quickly in the movie. I thought they were just going to drag it out and we get him towards the end. So that's what caught me off guard. But I really enjoyed for what they used him with, like just to play mind games with just like seeing an enemy of Cindy's past just right there in front of you. And it was also great seeing the other characters as well, of Mrs. Loomis. We got to see Scott Foley. Like, it was great seeing them too. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But at the end of the day, I'm just a big believer that Stu is dead because he got stabbed multiple times. I'm sorry, Nick, but hear me out, okay? He got stabbed multiple times by Billy, and he stabbed him a little too deep. So literally, Stu was bleeding out. Like, he even said that. Like, I think it could be too deep. I think I'm dying. Man. Yeah, and then he got a very little woozy here. But then when you drop a box heavy TV like on his face and everything and crush his face, I'm just telling you, he's dead. Like, this movie was fun to kind of like poke fun a little bit at the people that definitely, like, including me, saying that he is dead. So I was entertained by that. But definitely this movie, at the end of the day, Stu's dead.
Brett, I watched the first Scream the other day, and I paid attention to the TV scene that falls on top of Stu, just to see if maybe there's something there, you know? Facci got it. I never noticed this before.
His hands went up.
What does Stu do?
Puts his hands up like this.
He puts his hand up, and if you put your hand up and a TV's falling, is that going to cushion that fall? Because I think it could completely remove because his hands go straight up and he catches the TV.
Well, how heavy was the box TV, Bo? How heavy was it? Because those box TVs are really heavy.
They're pretty heavy.
All these you'd be fine if you put your hands in front. You'd be fine. Like, it wouldn't kill you.
There was electricity too, so he was electrocuted too.
I don't know this franchise, man. This franchise has some of the craziest suspension of disbelief that I've ever. Let alone the Chad scene in 6. Every movie, Mindy gets freaking stabbed like a pincushion every time she says hello to somebody.
But here's the thing, Lee, and to everybody in the chat saying it too, like this back and forth and all these theories and no, he's dead, no, he's alive. It's pointless anyway. At the end of the day, what I go back to is this is now the second time that the guy that wrote his death scene has wanted to bring him back. The first time didn't happen because of societal things with Columbine and whatnot. And then this time, apparently, according to him, they did shoot a scene to confirm that he was alive, and test audiences didn't like it. So if Kevin Williamson had his way, he would have been alive in this movie. So all that is to say, this isn't radio silence coming in and going, hey, let's try to retcon something. No, this is the guy that wrote it that's going like, I could find a way to bring him back. And the fact that he keeps talking about this and trying to revisit it, I don't think that door is ever going to be totally closed. He had every opportunity in this movie to say, nah, he's dead. And all they did in this movie was add lines of dialogue and, there was no body showed up in 1996.
There's no paperwork.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, Nick, Marco explained it, right? That Kevin Williamson was talking about. Yeah.
What?
And he said, who was this fucking crowd that everybody wanted Stu to be dead?
I don't believe that. I'm going to say, I don't believe that happened. I think he might have shot a coda. I don't think they showed it to a test audience because I know. I would say
he said it in the interview though that they did. He said that at the end of the day, they wanted Stu to stay dead.
He said they did, but Matthew Lillard he never said anything about that ending. And furthermore, Matthew said yesterday that he's like, I think Scream 7 laid the groundwork easier for a return for Stu. Honestly, I think he's still alive. So
when Jessica walks through that gate, if that would have been Stu, and they framed it right and maybe put a little bit of slow motion on it, I'm sorry. The crowd, they were fully locked into this movie. Yeah. If that would have been Stu, I think everybody would have fucking lost their
One of two things is true here with Kevin Williamson. One, he is either a prick that just wants to make us suffer, and that's why he keeps dicking around with us. But I don't lend much credence to that one because he's clearly he tried to fucking bring him back again. So like he's saving. Or two, he's building out something greater and he's testing people to see how this is going to go over.
That's what he's doing.
I'm not willing to bet my house that Stu's going to show up alive by the time this trilogy ends.
Right now,
at least not Stu's house.
I don't think
forever.
I don't think that's what I'm saying. He might find a middle ground where he just goes, I'm just never going to answer it. I'm never going to answer it.
There's no way he would give that information away right now. There was no way in hell at the end of Scream 7, Scream 8 is going to be in production pretty soon. He's going to say, "Oh, by the way, guys, Stu's alive." No fucking way in hell.
And we can't forget that
Stu's back.
I've only seen the movie once, but I can just I know, Lee, you've seen it twice. I will just say that first AI call is different than the other ones. It looked different. It seemed like it was handled a little bit differently as well. And then furthermore, the interesting thing for me is they specifically mention in that call outside the school or whatever, like, this is really good. Like, this looks real. This does not look like AI. Like, there's shadows at play here. Like, this looks real.
I'm telling you, that's going to come back. It's going to come back.
Again, what is the grand plan here? One of Kevin Williamson's ideas, a cult of Ghostface. What if this trilogy that's been rumored since before 7 came out is all about laying the groundwork for a bunch of foot soldiers until we get to Scream 9 and we find out that Stu was the one behind all of them? Like, I'm just saying, don't be surprised.
I think it's more powerful if he doesn't come back. It's like the whole, like, I am Spartacus thing. It's like this, like, I don't know. I think there's something really, I don't know, that could be really cool about that.
It's bullshit, but, baby. You know it.
Yes.
No, because I think it should all lead to Wes Craven's New Nightmare version of Scream, where we get the actors playing themselves.
If they do that in Scream 9, where it's like, these were all movies, I'm gonna be like, yo, fuck you, dude. Like, I'm gonna
not that.
Well, no, they need to do it for Scream 10 more than anything.
Yeah, and not that it negates the movies, but it's just the actors in real life that somebody is like, I'm tired of these fucking movies, and then we find out it's John Campea.
It's John Campea.
John Campea.
Oh my!
Hey,
God.
real quick, Scream 3. I watched them all recently, but Scream 3. I like Scream 3 better this time, by the way. I prefer to think that there is the second killer in Scream 3.
Oh.
I prefer to think that.
Angelina.
I think Angelina is a killer. And I think Roman killed her to discard her eventually in the movie. And if you watch the movie, there's nothing in that movie that takes away that she is an accomplice. And it kind of makes all the other killings make more sense because Roman's doing all these killings. The guy would be exhausted. So it splits, it splits up the duties, right?
Well, yeah, so, it's like Roman kind of pulled a Jill because Jill killed Charlie just because like Charlie did all the hard work and then she's going to get all the glory. And then maybe Angelina did a lot of good work. And then Roman's like, no, I can't keep her alive and just get rid of anything. So I got to get rid of her. So no,
Angelina
I've always
was
believed in that.
She was.
No, I've always believed in that, Lee, that Angelina definitely was the second killer. And on screen, you can, like, there's certain scenes where you can obviously tell that was the case.
Yeah.
Shout out to Laurie Metcalf, bro. That was the one cameo that didn't leak. And I was so happy to see that in the theater.
Me too. Finally, something I didn't know about.
Yeah,
I had the biggest smile on my face when that happened. I sat back in my seat like, oh no way! Like I
had just watched Scream 2 before too, so it was fresh in my mind.
Yeah,
I love.
They had just interviewed her on the red carpet or something like a month ago, asking her, and she was like, "She's dead." No, and I was like, "You're good, Laurie. You're good at this."
Well, and one person was like, "If they asked you to come back, would you come back?" And she's like, "If they asked me to come back." Absolutely, but she doesn't say that she was asked back. I'm like, oh, sneaky.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mrs. Loomis is absolutely great. Yeah, I really dig that quite a bit.
No, not the videos, Stefan. Like Scott Foley was reported that he was going to be in it. Matthew Lillard was reported that he was going to be in it, but there was no reporting that Laurie Metcalf shot anything. So if it did leak on Twitter like a week before, I didn't see it, but it didn't make the trades. Nobody in the press knew that she was in it.
A question for you guys. Yeah, the box office is freaking gangbusters.
Fuck yeah, it is.
The reviews,
boycott.
That rating, the rotten rating. Has Scream ever? I think Scream did have one other movie that had a rotten rating. I think that was Scream 3, and we didn't have another movie after Scream 3 until Scream 4, which was 10 years, something like that.
11 years.
11 years.
Davey, do you think that that's actually going to hurt Scream 8? Like right now, they've been talking about Scream 8's going to start filming at the end of this year. I'm scared that this is going to cause them to pause the brakes a little bit, and they're like, "Oh boy, we got to get it right this next time."
I don't know.
I guess they're going to do that, or do you think they're going to press forward?
we'll see how the sustained box office is, right? Like if it has a killer, weekend here in the second weekend, I think we're going to get like an official announcement of the green light on Scream 8. Cause I know it hasn't been officially like released, but everyone knows that they've been quietly working on it. I think that they're going to try to get Scream 8 going as quickly as possible to get these people locked into contracts and to keep on moving forward. And I think if Kevin gets to have it, the way Nick had mentioned, and I think that's the right way to do it too, is just give him complete control. I think he's the kind of guy where I don't think he seems very like swayed by some negative stuff. I think if he's got a plan, he's just going to forge ahead. And I don't think they're going to course correct unless it drops off like 50% this weekend.
Oh, it's going to drop. It's probably going to drop 60 or 65%.
Oh yeah, it's going to drop.
That's pretty standard. That's pretty standard fare for horror movies, though.
Yeah. What's coming out that would take away from it?
It's not necessarily that. It's that Scream is always front loaded because people want to go see it so it doesn't get spoiled.
Yeah.
So,
plus people see it multiple times too, and that also helps in a revenue standpoint.
Like Scream 6, I think dropped like 67% in its second weekend. Like that's just pretty par for the course. The question more so is this going to be a standard Scream drop, standard horror movie drop of 50 to 60%, or is this going to be a Halloween Ends 80% drop? You know what I mean? Like now, do I see that happening? No way. There's not enough adult there's not enough adult competition coming out this week to take that much away from it. But 65%, you're probably looking at about 65%.
Okay.
What do you think the word of mouth? Because there's people that hate this movie online for sure, but I think that there's also people that love this movie to death and are going to. I saw one guy on X. He posted, "I'm on viewing number, I think somewhere around 12." He has seen this movie 12 times in the theater.
Easy, Jessica. Easy.
Also, when are you going to get out 12 viewings? Damn.
I know, but
his family misses him and they're concerned about.
Where's Dad?
Milk cartons.
Do you think word of mouth? You think that's going to help the second week? Maybe.
I think it's going to be pretty standard for a Scream movie. Honestly, like I think you're looking at a normal Scream drop. I think a lot of this is exaggerated. I mean, the cinema score is on par with like half of the franchise, so that's fine, as long as it's in the B range, which it is. It's like, okay, that's not really going to affect word of mouth. Audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is 78%. That would say that most fans it's going over well with fans. Critics, I mean, these movies are critic proof. If this truly was like, oh my God, the fan base is fractured, it's a 50%, then we're talking something different, but that's just not the case. I mean, it's not. The data does not back that up. Furthermore, you look at how it held on Saturday. It had a really strong Saturday. People worried that Friday would be super top heavy and then Saturday would really drop. No, it had a really strong Saturday. So I think there's a lot of people in certain corners of the internet hoping that this thing is going to drop like a rock, like 80% this weekend, and it's just not going to happen. But say something terrible like that did happen. This movie's already in the black. And to your original question about like, do you think this is going to cause them to like take a pause? No, because if you see, I don't know if you guys follow Paramount Scream movies and all that stuff on social media, Kevin Williamson, they're taking victory laps right now. All of them.
Big time.
Kevin Williamson has posted shit like, thank you to everyone. Like they know how big that weekend was. 100% this thing is, it doesn't matter what it makes this weekend. They've already got the wheels turning on 8.
Oh, and as long as the franchise keeps making money, they will keep making them.
Yeah. Every one of you guys, I think, liked this movie to love this movie. Where I'm at, before I saw this movie, I was like, Scream, I could take it or leave it. I was just a very casual fan. I'll be there opening day because it's a slasher, but I wasn't, so high on Scream. This movie changed that. This movie actually made me more of a Scream fan now. Like, nice. I haven't been in a place where like, oh my God, I can't wait till Scream 7 or whatever the next movie is. Now I'm like, I'm really curious about Scream 8, where they could go, the possibilities, Stu, all that stuff is in the air now. Whereas before, I could care less. Have any of you guys had that? Did this movie have that effect on you, FACCI? Maybe.
No, not me. I mean, I've always been hardcore. Scream's probably been my, I don't know, top 3 favorite franchise of all time. So I really enjoyed 5. It's my second in the franchise. I know it's probably a hot take.
Wow.
That's where I put it. 6, I mixed feelings when I saw it the first time. Liked it upon rewatch, but now upon rewatching it dropped back the other way. But
yeah, same.
That would never stop me from ever wanting to go see a Scream movie at all. Like, I mean, come on, you guys know I hate Scream 4 with a fiery purple passion, but I was there day 1 for number 5. So, I mean, as long as there's a Scream movie coming out, I'm going to be there. In 7, was the third act? It wasn't even really a third act in this one. It was more of like the 3/4 act because it wasn't very long, like we talked about.
Yeah,
that was about the only even little bit of letdown for the whole movie. If they would have had, I don't know, if the reveal would have been a little different, it would have been somebody else or something. I don't know, something that made it a little bit better. This was going to be a 4.5, even maybe pushing 5 out of 5 for me. I was digging everything about this movie.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah.
Where would you rank this one, Facci?
I was debating. I probably either had 3. Yeah, I was thinking 3, either 3 or 4. That's where I'm at on it.
Nick? 4. Davey?
I got my rankings weird though. Scream 3, Scream 6, Scream 7, 2, 5, 4.
Davey, where does it rank for you?
It's right in the middle. I'm 1, 4, 2, 7, 3, 5, 6.
1, 4, 3, 7, 2, 5, 6.
1, 4, 2, 7, 3, 5, 6.
7, 4.
So many
10, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9. So it's right in the middle, but for a franchise like Scream, right in the middle is pretty darn
right
good.
in the middle.
And I will agree. Well, I'll save this for Christian, who's in there. What's happening? Christian Hanahan.
Christian.
Next Generation takes way more chances than Scream 7. That's for sure. It's a way more punk rock movie. I'll give it that.
Is Next Generation better than any Scream movie?
Well, it's so tough to compare them because they're so different, right?
Yeah.
I saw a stream yesterday where they were like, "Is Scream 7 worse than Halloween Kills?" And I'm like, "How do we
are people losing their
these
fucking
two?
minds?" Like, this is
two different things.
As much as I love Scream 7, it's a pretty safe Scream movie with a kick-ass Sydney. How could you? Yeah. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I saw that Dave McRae was watching it tonight. He posted on Facebook, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait until Dave McRae comes out. And he's like, yeah,
it's okay.
That's a Scream movie. That's totally fine. Because that's how he feels about the franchise, so I expect that.
He's gonna
blew my fucking balls off.
He's gonna eviscerate it. He's gonna eviscerate it. There were people that I knew were not gonna like this movie before they saw it, and like Pizzow, love my buddy Piz, knew he was gonna fucking hate this thing. Christian said it was fine. He gave it 3. He said he flirted with 3.5 out of 5. But here's the thing about Christian: he's so muted even when he finds a movie good. He's so muted about it. Like Halloween Ends, he's like, I really liked it, man. It was awesome. I gave it 3.5. I'm like, what the fuck? 3.5, and you're talking about how you love this thing. I don't get it.
Nick, it's because he's living in this cloud of Jason Takes Manhattan. He can't get away from the darkest side of the night. Can't get out.
Christian constantly tries to say that Freddy is his boy. No, it's Jason. Can we finally just admit that now? Yeah. He's all about Friday the 13th.
He is.
He doesn't even like Nightmare on Elm Street at this point. Okay, can we just be honest about that?
Oh man!
What the fuck? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Scream 7. What else, guys? I'll tell you what. I'm going to ask every one of you guys this question. What did you not like about this movie? What was the worst part aside from the final act? Because everybody's going to say the final act, right? Mm-hmm. Unless it's one particular thing. But what is the thing that you disliked about this movie the most? All right. I'll start with you, Brett. Go ahead.
There was no Kirby in it. That's
a joke. That's a good answer, actually.
I love Kirby. Like, if anybody knows me personally, everyone knows I'm obsessed with Kirby. Probably just not really think about it. Probably I say the most disappointing thing about this movie is I think they could have used McKenna Grace a little bit better.
Yes,
I was really surprised that she was like the first other than the opening, which the opening is always going to be a major death in some capacity because it's always the opening. But like the second death is going to be her when she has pretty much a star in Hollywood right now. I'll even call her like the female version of Steve Buscemi. Just be a part of all these different projects and just make tons of money off it. I think
she was probably doing
strategy.
5 movies at the same time, so that's probably why she's not in the movie that much.
Probably, but I just still feel like she could have done something more with that one. And with the third act in particular, I wasn't the biggest fan of like Tatum and Sydney just shooting Jessica in the face and like her face just being
that was wild.
Yeah, I just felt like that's a little too much for a Scream movie. Just like a regular, just a Tatum shot to the head and a Tatum like final girl line would have been just fine with me. But at the end of the day, but I still do enjoy this movie. I definitely want to go see it again. And I'm hopefully in Scream 8, I hope that Tatum will be the star of that movie, just because I think she is the one to carry on the franchise to a new direction.
I'm going to respond to Christian's thing here. The reality is I cannot take these slasher movies and say they're 4 or 5 if I'm going to call a movie like The Godfather 5. See, and I separate it. Like I don't even put The Godfather in the same ballpark as a slasher movie.
It's impossible.
Hell, I don't even put Scream in the same ballpark as an Italian horror movie like Torso. Like Torso is like freaking perfection for me.
Don't give this hater oxygen. Just don't.
I do the same. I do the same thing with. I do the same thing with my star ratings. I do the same thing. I kind of judge it from within the genre.
Within the genre, yeah.
But I understand if people want to do it.
Put it against
this son of a bitch. This son of a bitch would give Manhattan 4.5 out of 5. We're done.
Scarface
we're
is one of the greatest movies ever. You know, it's a 5 out of 5.
Compared to Citizen Kane. Yeah. Jason Takes Manhattan is pretty damn close.
I don't know, Chad. What do you think? You guys, how do you rate different genres? Do you try to keep them all together, or do you separate your genres? I separate mine. Okay?
I separate them.
You got
like a cheesy canon film can be a 5 out of 5 in the canon world. Okay, I look at it that way. Not going to find too many of them.
If your comparative is Citizen Kane or The Godfather, for every movie you see, you're doing every film a disservice.
You're doing it. Nick said it better than I ever could.
Yeah, that's just the way I look at it. But I mean, as far as like something we didn't like aside from the reveal, I don't know, man. Oh yeah, I got one. Dude, as excited as I was for David Arquette and Scott Foley, I thought it was kind of cringe.
It was cringe.
David Arquette, seriously, it seemed like he had a gun to his head recording that. Like I was like,
he's scared,
man. Like,
I think he had to take a poop.
It was just really weird. And like Roman was like Scott didn't seem like he stepped back into the role of Roman. It seemed like Scott Foley playing Roman Bridger, and I was like, this is kind of weird. Now, Laurie Metcalf, she had those crazy eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, she's giving it. But like the other two, that was just kind of weird to me.
David Arquette was literally walking away from craft services table. He just swallowed like a
get over here.
And then he just kind of spit out the line.
Yeah.
You know?
Plus, were some of you expecting Emma Roberts to be a part of that cameo as well? Like as Jill Roberts?
That would have been really cool.
That would have hit hard.
No, and the only reason is because there's more behind the scenes there, specifically with Scream 4. There's because of the Weinstein Company liquidating and Lionsgate, I believe, getting that. There's belief that there's things they can't use from that movie. They can mention it, it can be canon, but they can't use certain things. So knowing that going into it, I was like, no, you're not going to see Jill. Hopefully one day Lionsgate just gives it up and lets Paramount have that too, because they have every other fucking Scream movie. So like the fact the Weinstein Company liquidating is the reason that we don't have a 4K for Rob Zombie's 2 Halloween movies, by the way. So this is just another example of the bullshit that was. But
I won't be able to be happy until that happens, by the way. So
this is one of the few Scream reveals that had for lack of a better term, older killers.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
It didn't have like the younger generation being the killers, which is kind of cool.
It's more believable.
Or it's not even in the friend group too. That's what I noticed too. Like I think this is the first time in a long while that the friend group is not a part of the killings.
And one of them,
and Evan in the chat, I got to give Evan a shout out there. I totally agree with that, man. Like I felt like, as much as I felt like it seemed like David Arquette and Scott Foley were out of place, I think that Matthew Lillard stepped right back into the shoes.
Oh, he was ready to play.
Oh, he was awesome.
Yeah.
He was the best part of the movie.
He was playing like an 18-year-old again, and it just worked. I was like, this is working.
I think his over-the-top hat turned backwards for sure.
I think the AI just could have looked a little. It looked a little too clean and sanitary.
Yeah.
Was my complaint just about the AI in general.
AI.
But I totally agree that Roman should be wearing his glasses and Dewey should look like Dewey. It just looks like Hitler hair. Why Dewey never had Hitler hair?
Oh my god!
Like stop that.
You know, hey, you know what, Davey? This could be a justice thing because he suggested to Gail in Scream 3 that she should wear the bangs. So in retaliation to that Dewey has to look like shit, and he did. So it all comes to full circle.
Yeah.
Robin Barker says the first hour and 40 minutes was some of the best Scream material since 3, but once the Ghostface reveal happens, the movie goes off a cliff. And I think most people think that don't like the movie. I like the whole meal. I liked every start to finish. I think there could have been changes to pieces of the meal, especially the ending. Like Nick said, I think they should have fleshed out that. But man, wouldn't it be great if there's like a director's cut of this that comes out? But I don't think they do that for any of the Scream movies. But I would love a director's cut that actually fleshed out that last act a little bit better. Because I stated this on my socials too. I do think in years to come, people will take a closer look at Jessica as a character. Yeah, I think there's potential.
I'll take a closer look for sure.
Yeah, already did. But yeah, I think people are gonna, take a closer look at Jessica. I think she is a memorable killer.
This comment by Robin is really great because, and I'm interested to see what you guys think because I think I heard Davey touch on this earlier, but it was really cool to see. As much as I liked the brute over-the-top Ghostface in Scream 6, it was really nice to get back to this Ghostface that felt human, kind of clumsy. Like in the first 3 movies, you could knock them on their ass. There was something about that was this has that flavor of that original trilogy. And then furthermore, I felt like I saw some people complaining about a lack of chase scenes. I don't know what you're talking about. I felt like the chase scenes were elongated in this movie.
Yeah. Most of the movie is chase scenes.
and I loved that. That went back to those earlier movies. And by the way, shout out to that title card going back to the original title cards.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah. I felt like the suspense and tension was very ratcheted up. I got that. I love the the hinge from going to the second act to the third act in Scream 2 with the police escort from there on. And I felt like this movie kind of had that. Once Tatum was really on the run, I felt like that was it. We're in it, it's kind of like a sprint there. But I think if I'll say my complaint really quick before you move on. I know you didn't ask me to, Lee, but I'll just say it really quick. I would have liked some of the friend group to live. I think if we have a couple of those friends, maybe Chloe and Lucas live until the third act, third act can be longer. We keep some people around so it's not completely whittled down. It was like a game of Guess Who where we kind of can figure out by the end who they really are because everyone else is dead. And so, we could have had a longer third act, save some kills, save some bigger kills, and have a bigger mystery or a longer mystery. Would have been cool.
And do you know what I actually thought of real quick? You got to give props to Neve Campbell because she has to have amazing cardio in this movie because she ran from the news station to downtown and from downtown back to her house. So props real quick for Neve Campbell on running a marathon in Scream 7.
Dude, whatever she is doing in real life,
keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
Oh, baby. You can have Anna, Nick. Can I please have Nev?
Hey, Davey, she's the official
and then we both switch places when we ring the bell.
Yeah, there you go.
As I said, Sidney Prescott's the official, or Sidney Evans is the official MILF in the whole horror genre. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah, I guess in the poll for hottest final girls, she would probably be in there too, somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
She almost makes me forget about Facci. That's how hot she is.
Wow.
But not quite.
Fuck.
Chad and Mindy. We haven't talked about them yet.
I love them.
Chad was a little underutilized.
Easy, Facci, okay?
I'm sorry.
Chad was a little underutilized for my liking because I do love Chad, but he was good. Mindy, I felt was used the perfect amount, and
they made me a Mindy fan.
Yeah,
finally.
I liked her. I loved her.
I think that duo with Gale, I never knew that they worked so perfectly as a trio together. But I would, I'd even do like a freaking spinoff movie with just the adventures of Chad, Mindy, and Gale, and
felt
search
good
for another killer or something like that.
It felt good, and I liked the energy, like when Tatum got to interact with them, because again, her mom won't tell her shit. So when she's like, "Why are you guys here?" It's like this is something that is taboo for her to talk about. You know, it's like she's grown up in some crazy religion where she can't talk about this thing. You know, loved all that. Yeah, Mindy was the most charming she's been, and I do think that Chad could have been in there a little bit more, but
it was cool
if Mindy wants to replace Gale, she needs to be able to find that exit in the bar.
They finally weren't like the young pups, you know. They had Tatum under them, so I think they felt like, okay, now I have some experience here. Maybe I could do a little bit of mentoring, and I think that was the difference. Whereas they didn't get to do that as much, and I do think in 6 they were really pushing the core 4 thing a little bit. You don't want to push things on your audience.
Talk about cringe.
Cringe. Yeah, that's what it comes off as cringe. You want it to be natural. Everything about Chad and Mindy in this movie with Gale felt natural. And I think that's why it works so much better. Facci, I'm going to go ahead and let you talk now. Okay. Because
you're good, man.
You were right out the gate. And what happened between you and Chad and Mindy when you went home? But God bless you. Okay.
Well, definitely Mindy for sure. Like you guys said, this was the most that I've ever liked her character. I really wasn't the biggest fan of her in 5 or 6, but this one really, really enjoyed her performance. And I mean, they weren't in the movie that much really, but when they were on screen, their chemistry together is fantastic. Like you said, with Gale, all 3 of them, the chemistry is there. But Chad, I mean, Mason Gooding, I'm just, you know, it's like a man crush thing going on. Watched Hard Eyes.
He's really good.
Mindy down he's so too good. When she started trying to do the rules again, and Chad was like, "No." You know.
But Mindy calls it, dude. Mindy calls it. If you've only seen it once and you are a little foggy on the motivation, or you haven't had that, Mindy lays it all out, and that's maybe why they didn't have Jessica keep on talking about it. But I love that Mindy totally called it. Like, I loved that Agatha Christie scene with everyone. I thought, I mean, I know I already mentioned the acting a little bit, but man, like Ozzy Germain as Lucas, I thought he was really good. I haven't seen a lot of these people in anything.
Yeah, me neither.
And a lot of them, I was like, wow, all of these young, you know, up and coming performers are knocking it out of the park. So that's always encouraging to see.
Is that true?
Yeah.
When I adjust it, gotta get serious.
Oh, and another thing with Chad and Mindy too, like I give Kevin Williamson a lot of props. Those are really not his characters to play with, but he actually used them in a good enough benefit in this movie to make them work.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
And I thought, for, you know, Kevin Williamson says that 6 is his favorite. He took a lot of really fun shots at 6 in this one.
Oh no, he definitely did.
Yeah, then there was the thing I was going to bring up. They mentioned 6 like
every other
bit,
and every time they're like, "Oh yeah, that was terrible," or "That was brutal." And when Stu is on the phone with Gale and Sydney, and he's like, "Oh, Gale, like you got fired," and Gale's like, "I wasn't fired. My contract wasn't renewed," and I was like, "Boom!" The nuclear Melissa Barrera joke.
Jessica wants to kill Sydney because she wasn't in 6, which is quite a flex, actually.
6 doesn't count.
That's
like,
he's
straight up saying like 6
the
doesn't
black
count,
sheep, man.
And dude, the Melissa Barrera joke, I was like, damn, that's some next level meta to do the I wasn't fired, my contract.
What was the Melissa Barrera joke? Because it flew right by me.
Stu tells Gale, "Oh, fired reporter," or whatever. And she goes, "I wasn't fired. My contract wasn't renewed."
Oh my God, you're right.
And I was like squirming in my seat, like, "Oh, damn, that's like actually pretty funny because it's gonna piss a lot of people off that don't like the definitions of words."
Jigsaw is just loading us up with all kinds of like.
Jigsaw's awesome.
Yeah.
Jiggy's throwing the love over there. Yeah, thank you, Jiggy.
Jiggy,
appreciate you.
Jessica was mental.
She was.
She was.
Guys, in the mental institution.
Would any of you rank Jessica like in like say the bottom tier killers wise? Nick.
I don't know. I'd have to like look at my most recent ranking that I did a couple weeks ago. She's not top tier for me. She's better than Charlie. She's better.
Charlie was a simp.
Yeah, definition.
Charlie was brutal though.
Yeah, he was brutal.
She's probably like,
and all he got was a kiss.
She's probably bottom 5. I'd put her above.
She's not looking at him either. She's like looking away when she kissed him. Like,
I'd put her above Richie, Charlie.
I love Richie.
Ethan.
Amber.
No, I actually quite like Amber.
That was a trick question, but good for you.
Yeah,
I like Amber.
It was a loyalty question.
She's probably right on par with Detective Bailey for me.
She's Brandon Tabato's favorite screen killer.
Yeah, of course it's me.
Why wouldn't it?
Number 1 over Jaws.
Brandon Tabato. She is. I'll say this: as far as like batshit unhinged Ghostfaces, she's right there with Jill. It's like one. Yeah, it's like 1A and 1B as far as Jill that category goes. But yeah, I mean, I like Billy and Stu more. You know, I've had more time with these other characters too, so it's tough, like where I would rank her. But I do think that I don't know. I do really love it. I love how crazy it is, like that she is, and I love that people aren't really getting that. They're like, I need a reason. What was the plan? And I'm like, I kind of like it that there's like not really one other than gotta kill Sydney and Mark, and we don't know what we're doing after that. Like,
I realized something about Scream 4 when I just watched it again, paying attention to it, because when we did the commentary, we were just, I mean, freaking ripping that movie to shreds. But I literally watched it this time and paid attention to everything, and I realized something. Jill and the final act completely saved that movie. If you didn't have that, if you didn't have Jill, one of the greatest Ghostface killers ever, and that incredible performance by Emma Roberts,
this mouth diarrhea coming out right now.
What's happening, Facci? You're being
no. I'm talking to you, Lee. This is like verbal diarrhea right now. What is happening?
I agree, Nick.
Diarrhea. You don't like Jill?
It's arguably the best reveal in the entire franchise.
Jill,
I would
because
right up
it's so fucking far fetched and over the top.
Nick,
yeah, I agree.
I like that. Let's get crazy with it. Let's have some
amazing. Fun. Are you serious?
I'm dead
Go
serious.
stand in the corner. What the hell?
I'm already kind of in a corner in my room.
Every YouTuber's in a corner. What are you talking about?
I'm not a Jill hater. She's mid-tier for me. I think I put her at like 7 in my ranking. She was like right smack dab in the middle. Yeah.
She's so diabolical to do that to your family and not give a fuck.
Man.
Yeah,
just trying to be an influencer before they're a thing.
Roman did it to his family
she's
first.
Like kicking her own ass.
He did.
You know?
Yeah, I was like, she pulled off a Jim Carrey from Liar Liar and kicked her own ass.
But Roman had a reason to do it to his family. Jill was like, I just want my 15 minutes of fame. And that's all I need.
She had a good motive.
She got it.
You had the hospital scene after.
The hospital scene sucks. The hospital scene sucks, Lee.
What?
What are you, Michael fucking Myers?
Thank you.
I don't even know who
dragged so much.
No, it is. That was an added ending. Even I don't even think Wes Craven was a big fan of that because like they wanted to end at the house.
I like the ending in the hospital.
Should have ended at the house.
I did,
but I hear you. If they continue her story, if they were going to continue her story, I totally get what you're saying, Nick. But it sounds like they just didn't know if they were really had the guts to do that. So they're like, well, I guess we'll just kill her. We'll just fry your brains out. Are we ever going to have
a hot tub kill in a Scream movie?
We don't know that. We don't know that.
I have a controversial question for everyone, for you guys, and for everyone in the audience. I don't know if you're ready.
Thanks,
I was going to see
Sean G rocks, by the way, guys.
Yes, thank you, Sean. I was going to ask you guys in the Instagram in our DM thing, but I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to ask it here. Is it possible? What would be the reaction? Do you guys think it's going to happen? Are we ever going to get a Ghostface that isn't a white person?
Wow.
Yes.
Well, you got that in the TV series, season 3.
Yeah, that season sucked.
Oh, I never watched it.
Wasn't good.
I'm a Brandon Jones guy.
Beth is such a great killer in season 3.
Okay, we're talking film franchise.
Okay.
What do you think?
Film franchise.
Well, technically, at the opening of Scream 6,
they're not real ghost faces.
But hey, they're real to me.
They don't kill anyone that's tied to the plot. They have
Vision
doing that, but they don't
kill Samara Weaving. You gotta give him props to killing Samara Weaving.
Red.
He's around for like 8 minutes. We're gonna count this guy. Okay,
we have to. We technically have
Samara
to.
Weaving.
Kill
Carl. Someone.
Okay. Fair enough.
He
So we
kills
have an Indian. We have an Indian. One Indian Ghostface.
But but to your larger point, yeah, I do think so. I definitely think so. I just shudder to think when it happens though, because you'll have some people be like, "Oh my god," and it's like, bro, it's fucking 7 movies now, and it's never happened.
Yeah.
Like, it can't happen once.
Well, and unfortunately, yeah, I think people would be like, "What are you trying to say about blah 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 or blah blah blah?" And it's like, well, I guess what we're trying to say is anyone can be a Ghostface. Like,
yeah.
You know,
yeah, like,
and it's okay to do this with other things. So why not do this with Ghostface? Why not have a little, like, it really would be unexpected. What do you do when you watch a Scream movie? Just eliminate all the people who aren't white. They're not going to be Ghostface.
We're about to get multiple in Scary Movie. The Wayans are going to be Ghostfaces. So, like, yeah, we're about to get multiple.
Yeah, and I heard that rumor today or earlier too.
Oh my god, that
trailer
really
looked hilarious too.
It reminds me of Kentucky Fried Movie.
We talked about Scary Movie 6 trailer, right? Or did we do that before we went live?
We were talking before we went live.
Oh, you know, and Chappie, this one's dedicated to you because he did submit a super chat earlier about this. What did we think of the Scary Movie trailer? And one thing I said was I love that the trailer had the balls to actually poke fun at all the political bullshit that's going on today. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I just thought that was really funny. Some people might get offended by what it did, but I thought it was really funny.
Well, I'll tell you this: if you're going to be offended by a scary movie, this is not going to be the movie for you. This is going to be the movie for us who are the fans of the 90s and 2000s comedy.
It makes fun of everything. That's what's great about Scary Movie. They make fun of current pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
No, anybody that tries to cancel Scary Movie is going to find out really quickly no one's going to agree with them. And they're going, like, I'm just waiting for that douchebag in Praise of Shadows to make
I saw that.
to make a 3-hour dissertation about how Scary Movie is problematic. Now get out of here, bro. That is Scary Movie. That's always been Scary Movie. Sure, the last couple were really just toilet humor, like they were not funny. But this is going back to the Wayans, and it looks like it's very much nobody's safe. So
the first two are freaking amazing. I love the first, and I usually don't even like those like slapstick comedy movies, you know. But there's a few of them like Airplane, Naked Gun, the first two Scary Movies. When they do it right, they really do it right. So it's either they're great or they fall off a cliff.
This feels like it's got more of that Kentucky Fried Movie, Airplane, Top Secret, Hot Shots kind of thing, more so than, because I even thought the first two movies had a lot of, you know, sophomoric like toilet and, you know, bush and cum kind of jokes and stuff, which I think fit in those movies, but in smaller amounts than what they did. So it is just a taste thing. But seriously, watching this Scary Movie 6 trailer, I'm like, this is the funniest thing I've seen from this franchise. I love that there are I want every line to be crossed. I want everyone to be on the chopping block. That's what comedy is all about. It is about embracing the wrong.
They even threw a jab at Nip.
You know, the funniest.
Well, and Scream 6.
The funniest. The funniest one in the trailer, for me at least, was Ray when he's like, "Why just half gay?" I mean, I laughed out loud in the theater because I was like, "Yes, fucking Ray is back.
Ray's back. I love it.
I love
probably the best character in the entire Scary Movie.
Yeah. I love when Cindy is like, you know, the one girl's like, can we still be friends? And she's like, well, I'm like Republican, so I guess I'm supposed to be racist. She's like,
all
people are racist. Like, I'm like, those are the, like, comedy can heal, but you got to dig some shit up and laugh at it first.
The box office
acknowledge that it's dumb.
For Scary Movie
what about that opening?
Astronomical. It's gonna be insane.
But man, that opening was so ballsy of the first joke in the trailer too. It's like, oh my god, he stabbed her.
That lets you know what's up.
Yeah, I was like, I knew
not
right
her.
then and there.
My pronouns are they, them.
Amazing.
Yeah,
this is. And you see
what I was talking about.
And you see Ghostface too going like, huh?
Yep.
But it's
let me get these last two super chats, and then we're going to start wrapping this up. Frank Riker, he says, "How is it every Ghostface after one wears a bulletproof vest but no head armor? I do admit that there was less tripping in this movie," and he's right. That's part of the charm of Scream movies. Ghostface has got a trip, and nobody gets shot in the. And the funny, ironic joke is that Sidney always says, "Shoot them in the head," but they never get shot in the fucking head, you know, until the end of the movie. So yeah, Frank's right. Let's go to the next one. Chaz Laura says, "Davey, are you the killer?" You're not supposed to tell Davey. "You like Jill or you're wearing flannel Davey's got his fans tonight. Laugh out loud. Just kidding. Nick, you're right. Matthew Lillard will be back. Everybody's a suspect.
Everybody's a suspect.
Yeah. Jazz is awesome. Okay. So yeah, it's we're gonna start wrapping this up pretty soon. But first, I want to thank all my guests, especially my two deluxe guests, Brett from Goodwill Hunting and Facci from Facci Cinema. They are two of the coolest, nicest people you could ever meet. They've always been super friendly to me, only me. They've welcomed me with open arms, and we're taking this relationship to the next level.
Wow.
But,
Damn,
they just don't know it
you
yet.
can take me out to dinner first. Like,
we're gonna get so parasocial. We are gonna get all
parasocial relationship here, but that's okay. Brett, what do you got coming?
Whoa.
Brett,
Whoa.
what do you got coming up? Jesus.
What do you got popping up? I mean, coming. I mean,
popping off.
I was like Nev Campbell, but no, what's coming up on Goodwill Hunting? This Thursday we always go live on Thursdays weekly at 8:00 Eastern time. My buddy, one of my co-hosts, my best friend Brad, is his birthday's coming up, so we're gonna do a birthday Q&A for him, like an early birthday celebration Q&A. We're gonna be doing that, and then other than that, though, I'm mainly just watching horror movies. I'm doing a little thing for the channel. It's called the My 365-Day Horror Movie Challenge, where the goal is to watch a horror movie every single day this year, whether it be something I've seen before, I've not seen before. And I do this because this year for 2026, this is my 10-year anniversary of being a horror movie fan. My journey started in 2016. So I just wanted to do something cool to give back, to show my appreciation for a genre that has given me so much and legitimately has changed my life too.
And I feel sorry for people that aren't horror fans because they just don't realize how cool it is to be a horror fan in the community. It's
and I used to be to be a big skeptic on the horror genre, but then when I finally stepped my toes into it and see actually how cool people are in this genre, they do not judge you, and we can have different conversations. I'm like, yeah, this is my community that I want to be a part of. And it really started with Killer Flicks back in 2018 too.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, man. Killer Flicks. People have literally started relationships and gotten married. Out of Killer Flicks, which is crazy.
Ashley and Jason, that's one of the most popular ones too. That's great for them.
I'm a reverend.
And then think about all the secret relationships. Those are great too.
I'm a Cupid. Facci, what do you got coming up, brother?
Well, working on my top 25 horror remakes of all time. I asked a bunch of you to provide me with some clips for later, so rewatching a lot of them. Also going to be doing would like to do some Scream tier lists. I don't usually do too many tier lists, but I want to give them a shot. I got to do a new ranking video for Scream, see how much that gets hated for having 7 up too high for some people. Or
4 too low. Yeah, it's going to be me on a fake account.
Go ahead, because you already know what place 4 is in. Everybody knows where that one is. It's going to be last because I hate it. And I think after watching it with you and Lee, it just made it even worse. So I really don't like that movie at all. So yeah. And all, like Brett said, the horror community is fantastic. Even though, that I think the haters that are in there, they're not really horror fans, I don't think anyway. They just like to come in there and cause some shit up. Just like the people that sold out the movie theater on Friday night. They ain't really horror fans. They just go to the damn movies, taking my seats. But that's okay. That's all right.
Scream ain't dying though. It's just gonna keep
no.
We're gonna keep getting movies no matter what people say, But all these non-horror fans, they had to react so negatively to because the political thing got tied into it. But Scream's never gonna die. Okay.
No.
Davey, what about you, brother? What do you got coming up?
Yeah, I'm going to do a fresh Scream ranking. I'm still I don't really do movie reviews because no one has really watched them when I've done them. However, with something like Scream 7, I am sort of curious of maybe not really doing a review, but just sort of putting together a pre-recorded video talking about it. I'll probably give it some time to gestate. But yeah, other than that, I cover horror movie news and stuff like that on my channel. I've been doing something similar to Brett, but I'm trying to watch 365 movies I've never seen. I have a lot of catching up to do.
Challenge.
I have a lot of catching up to do, but it's been really fun. I just watched the original Pet Sematary for the first time last night. So huge blind spot. Huge blind spot. Absolutely loved it. Thought it was one of the best Stephen King adaptations I've ever seen.
Insane.
The music was incredible. And it had all of these aspects and elements that I just did not anticipate. So there was so much surprise, even though I knew like the bare bones of the story. So
it's amazing.
So yeah, it's been a really cool, you know, kind of adventure doing that sort of thing. But yeah, follow me on, you know, socials, Davey Deathray. I might not tweet as much as Nick does, but I'm always liking his tweets. He's much more acerbic and better at tweeting.
I tweet when something new comes out that's making waves. And
yeah,
I don't know if you guys have noticed, I have been catching bodies on Twitter this week. I mean, it's really, really fun.
I feel like Nick is like a guard dog I didn't even know I had. I show up on Twitter and I'm like, damn, go get him, bud.
My strength, my strength is up here. And so like, it's always fun to get into tit for tats on Twitter. I have a really good time with it. I had somebody go like, dude, you're just like roasting people. And I'm like, it's what I do, man. I'm an equal opportunity employer. So yeah.
Nick, what do you got coming up? You said you got a video dropping tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Well, it's on Patreon now. It's called The Stu Macher Dilemma. And basically the video is just talking about how this controversy even became a thing. Like what was the inception? What's the reason for why this is a thing in the franchise? Who's to blame and why I think it could still happen. I'm going to do another Scream franchise ranking this week with the new one, because I got to be honest with you. I thought about it, even though I just done one recently. I should have waited. And somebody commented on my video today and was like, still waiting on that Scream franchise ranking. And I was like, bro, chill. Like I was literally told this person, I was like, relax, dude, I'll get to it. Yeah, I mean, it's and then this month I've decided for the first time on my channel, I am going to go into the world of the Leprechaun, and I'm going to do Revisited for every single movie this month.
Easy.
Do this.
Yeah. I watched all of them a couple years ago when we covered it on UNITA. And so it's been a while, and I was like, I'm going to dedicate, because you guys know how I do like my Revisited videos. It's never just like a straight up review where I'm like Leprechaun review. No, it's going to be like, you know, it's always some kitschy title like The Leprechaun 3 is actually the best one. And it's basically, it's going to be me like giving things I like about these movies and things I don't like. But I think this is going to be a fun series to do, because it's also going to give me the opportunity to have those fun videos where I can absolutely eviscerate a movie, because there's plenty of Leprechaun movies to do that for. So I'm really excited. Yeah.
What's that Hellraiser movie that's like really, really bad that doesn't have Doug Bradley?
That's Revelations. Yep.
Yeah, Revelation. Yeah. Okay.
Absolute dog shit.
Hellraiser 2022.
Oh my god,
another one.
That thing is horrible. It literally, you can almost see the Walmart symbol above it. Culinary Joey says, Scream 8, Stu back. That should be the title. Perfect time. Tara is killed off by Stu in opening. It's set up for Sam as Ghostface against Tatum to close out the series in Scream 9.
Damn.
Oh boy. Yeah. it could be something, right? Yeah.
That's partly taking the original idea for Scream 7, because Tara was going to be killed in the opening and then Sam would die as Ghostface. So
one thing I forgot to mention was that I think the smart, safe move for the next movie to make everybody happy is to get Sam back somehow, because that way you don't have a boycott again. You know, everybody seems
it worked it worked really well. So, you know,
it would make double.
But if you get Sam back, wouldn't you also have to get Jenna Ortega back as well for that to work?
You don't have to, but it would be nice. Yeah.
Look, I think their story wrapped up pretty well.
I think so too. I don't need them back, if I'm being honest. So
Tara's not that great of a character, like well-written character. You know, like Sam is a well-written character. I'm not sure about Tara, but of course, because it's Jenna Ortega, they'd want to bring her back, right? Yeah.
Well, I literally right before this, I finished up editing my ranking, and I was like 75% through with my thumbnail, and so I was planning on it going up tonight, but it's probably going to go up tomorrow for my ranking. But it's like 20 minutes long. I went into detail about every freaking movie, gave good reasoning and everything. So it was fun. But I'll probably squeeze out another couple of Scream type videos. You know, try to squeeze that turnip as much as I can. Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Guys, this was a really, really, really fun. Hit the bricks. Had a freaking blast with you guys. Again, thanks to my special guest. And thanks to my chat, we crossed over 200 people watching this time, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
We set a record for Hit the Bricks. So yeah.
Damn.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna close it off tonight. Take care of each other. Love you guys. Be nice to each other. Okay. Have a good night.